Our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
KBLA Talk 1580, covering news and breaking news first.
Breaking news here. We've been covering this every day since the trial began. USA v. MRT. The verdicts are in. The jury has found LA City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas guilty on a number of counts.
Keep it locked to KBLA Talk 1580 for news and analysis about the things that matter most to you. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
What you know about the classic of the O, the B, E? With the guys on stop and the You weren't even born when this came out. Literally. The O.
Both have 4 letters, but they're 2 different things altogether. Cause I've liked many ladies in my day, but just like the wind, they've all blown away. See, to love someone, it's an atmosphere that you both still share when one's not there. There's no real way it can be explained. I guess it's the way I smile when I hear your name. It's the little things you do that mean so much. It's the care that you put into every touch. It's the way I trust you and you trust me. I guess some of us are so lucky. I was known for having.
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We ain't got time because it takes a while to get to that chorus, man. By the way, rest in peace, Ecstasy from Houdini. That is 1986. 5. Crap. Man. Crazy. By the way, shout out to my man, Leonard Redway with LRS Plumbing. That's one of the most informative interviews we've had on the Danny Mo Show because I hear a lot of cats saying, you know, Danny, I want to get out the game. I want to do the right thing. I just don't know what direction. And I ain't going working no Wendy's job. I ain't going to do no Taco Bell. So send me in the right direction to where I can actually make some capital up in here. And I'm telling you, Leonard just gave y'all a crash course on how to turn your life around in a short amount of time.
Very inspirational. So salute to you, Danny. Salute to Brother Leonard. Great information. I think one thing, and I don't know, maybe I was asleep.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the women in spaces like this when it comes to trades.
We didn't. I used to, I don't want to call them out because some of them listen. I used to get pushback back in my hometown because they always say, Danny, why are you always about the black men? Well, you don't never give love to the black women. I did a project, the year before I came here to L.A. called the Reconstruction Project with nothing but women. I had them write the song. We put a video together, and we implemented a number of social justice topics. I'll bring that to you guys one day. And it was my way of trying to finally give the lady shine inside my movement, which is called the #HowLong movement, right? But what I tell young ladies all the time, especially black women that used to criticize me saying I don't pay attention to them when it comes to fighting for social justice, I go, look, the brothers are dying out here. I'm sorry. And y'all know I give love to the queens constantly on this broadcast, but the brothers are dying out here. And it's just a more serious set of circumstances that, and I'm a brother myself, and I see it firsthand. I'm sick of seeing brothers die out here. I'm sick of seeing brothers go and do hardcore jail time and give up their lives. I'm sick of it. And make no mistake, ladies go through a lot, especially, they are the backbone of our communities. And without the ladies, man, we wouldn't know where we were, where we are, or what we'd be doing. Black women are the lifeblood of our communities. That being said, if we can somehow bring these young brothers up the right way, give them some capital, give them some confidence, give them some training, put them in a position to where they can go back to the household and be the parent in the household, to be the breadwinner in the household, to be the man. Let's keep it real. In the households, I think the black community as a whole will be better off for it. And if you biblical like me, that's biblical what I'm talking about. If you put a good man in the household, I'm telling you it'll change the whole community. So I start there. It ain't got nothing to do with I'm not paying attention to the women in blue collar. And I love the ladies. Y'all know that? But I just need the brothers to get back on track, man. And if you've seen what I've seen, touring around in these prisons all throughout California, it's a tough watch, man. It's a tough watch. You go up in there and just lives just ruined. 21-year-old cats that are lifers in prison, you know? You talk to a 21, 22-year-old, young cat that say, man, I've been going to jail since I was 12, man. How long you up in here for? I got 15 years. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. And I've said it on the show before multiple times, I always put them in a room, like an auditorium-style room. It's usually in a gym of some sort, right? And they usually they don't want to set up too many people up in there because, it's a hazard of some sort, I'm sure. But, it's like 150 people up in there, right? And I always do my little poll to start things out so everybody can know that we're all the same. I know they think that just because I can leave that place when I'm done doing what I do up in there, but we're all the same. I also grew up in a broken home. I also grew up without a father. I also grew up in a gang-infested neighborhood. I also grew up during the crack era. I got the same daddy issues and mommy issues and woman issues that they got up in there. The only difference was I had a mama that believed in God and grabbed me by my collar at the right age and said, you are not gonna fall in that direction. You are not. I give my life for it. It's just not gonna happen. So she got me with a mentor or two or three and made sure that I had a man in front of me. Women don't get offended. I'm telling you, if you got a young man that's teetering, you got to get a man in front of him to show him firsthand exactly how it's done. Because there's a certain age to where we stop listening. So when I'm in these prisons, I always do a little informal poll. How many cats? Put your hand up. Grew up without a father. Almost every hand goes up. How many of you cats grew up with a parent that was on drugs? Most of the hands go up. How many of you cats grew up in a home where mom or dad just never was home? And all hands go. I got a whole list of questions that I asked them, and they all look at each other like, "Well, you too? Oh, you too?" It's like, yeah, all of us. So my entire initiative is geared towards building up young black men. So to answer your question in a roundabout way, Mr. Andy, I'm just trying to get the young brothers back on track first. And I think a rising tide lifts all boats. And if the brothers are doing good, you know how they say if a black man goes to church every single Sunday, the family will follow? Because a mom can go to church every single Sunday and the daddy will stay home and watch the Raiders. Be like, you tripping, there's a game on. Just you gonna check on Jesus, okay? I'm checking on them Raiders. That's what I'm talking about. And if he does go, he got a little earbud in his ear checking out the game. It's like, oh my God! The pastor didn't even say anything. It was a touchdown, sweetie. We talking about something else. But if we just get these men back on track, black men back on track in the households, I'm telling you, the community will be better off for it. Before we come forward, let's get Ray Alexander up in here real quick. Ray, you know how we do. Give me your height, your color, and your hood, Ray.
What's going on, Danny, Mo, and Andy, and the KBLA family? I'm 6'3", and I am Carmel Brown, and we say caramel in the South, and I'm from South Park in Houston.
Houston, checking in. Drop that. Come on, let's go. Yeah, man. Beyonce's hometown, Houston, and also the town where Takeoff lost his life. We ain't going to get into that, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I really appreciate you for bringing Brother Linway with Redway on. I saw that video. He's really an inspiration, and he's in your area, and that's just really good that he's reaching out to the brothers and helping them. And like you said, once we really get our brothers in order, the sisters will follow that leadership.
They will.
Our brothers are languishing. Yeah, they'll do that. because they want to. They want to.
Ray, I hear all the time from black women, they go, black men just won't get it right. They won't come together. They won't go to church. They don't believe in God. They won't be faithful. They won't keep a job, et cetera, et cetera. And that's why I say, if we can just get this young generation, I think a lot of the millennials, I don't want to say I'm giving up on them, but, you know, they're marching to the beat of a different drum, it seems like. That's why when millennials call me and they say, man, you know, you're doing all this, social justice work and all that, and we need to buy black and all. Man, ain't nobody checking for that. I go, well, I understand that for a lot of people, but I'm not necessarily talking to you. I'm talking to these young cats. I'm trying to get these young cats to understand if they will just invest in black and take the time to really get back into us as a people, we could turn this thing around. Some people think that we're a lost cause as a community. I go, no, we're not. We just got to get these young bucks to understand what their responsibilities are. Do you agree with that?
I agree with you on that. And I think that we can take over these school systems and school boards and reintroduce the trades. Even if there's just one, they can go to class where the academics are part of the day and then go to one specialized school on whatever trade they need, so they come out of high school with a trade, whether they're college bound or not. And when people start understanding, like Brother Redway was saying, the type of money they can make in a variety of skilled trades, they'll want to do that. I think that they're not hearing that. And let's just be honest, the cost of crime is not paying for brothers. If brothers are getting locked up at 21, then whatever you made, because knowing people who work in law as far as attorneys, these brothers can't even pay their attorneys. That's one of the things that they can't get the type of representation that they need to keep them out, because they can't come up with the money. So if you really made that type of cash, and I think Hill Harper in his book, Conversation, it was called A Conversation with an Incarcerated Brother, or Letters to an Incarcerated Brother, he showed that from going in and out of jail or prison, whatever you made on the drug game resulted in ultimately to minimum wage, because you lost all that time. So it's a quick money, but it's not long term. And that's what we have to show them. And also the excitement about getting into the rap game and sports. All of those take a lot of skills, but it's just a small market. They're highly visible. But I think if we invest in these schools, invest in teachers, also in cultivating black male teachers in the classroom will really inspire these young men, and also having social workers. And the investment that we need to do to help them, a lot of these schools districts are not willing to do, and that's why we need to take them over and really invest in them. Because if you look at this, we're not having any problem at all for all of these major, what we call PWI, predominantly white universities with these $9 million coaches.
Yeah.
They're dependent on poor black kids from the inner city being their running backs, defensive backs, now quarterbacks. They ain't having no problem producing them. Why can't these same schools produce engineers, doctors, lawyers, teachers, governors? We can do those things if that's our priority, because you're coming out of the same environments, and you can be the top running back or quarterback that gets the Heisman Trophy. But you mean that if you want to be an engineer, you got problems, you know?
Yeah.
All of a sudden now you can't train. So those are some of the things that I really think that we need to do. And you're right on the right track on that. Danny, I commend you for what you're doing, because you're one of those soldiers that's still out there, because unfortunately a lot of people are just focusing on their own needs, you know?
Yeah.
They're not extending themselves.
We gotta reach an olive branch out to these young bucks and stop tearing them down all the time. Anytime you talk to somebody that's in my age group and even a little bit younger, man, you talk about the young brothers out here, they tearing them down, man. And I go, we never gonna reach them if we continue to do that. I criticize them when they deserve it, but we gotta stop doing it just all the time. It's perpetual when I have conversations with brothers, even the sisters too, man. But I gotta let you go. Give Ray call of the night, by the way. And Ray, thank you for your assistance on Leonard too, man. It was really, really, really an impressive cat.
I'm glad I can help out. Keep up the great work, man. Enjoying your show, and keep expanding. And we hope your social media expands as well. We want this KBLA really to go national.
Absolutely.
Really, you know?
We gonna do that. We gonna do that for sure. Appreciate you, Ray.
Take care.
1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we will go to Mike, who's calling in. We will come to him on the other side. We got your upon further review clips, and we got some DMs coming in. I'll see if I can get to those as well. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
From middays to nighttime.
Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Our Weekly Los Angeles is the largest audited black newspaper in the state of California with a distribution of over 50,000 copies weekly. Pick up a copy every Thursday to get the latest news on African American communities of LA. You can also keep up with what's going on in Los Angeles and surrounding cities by going to www.ourweekly.com. The Our Weekly website is updated daily with the current news about us and for us. For your advertising needs, Our Weekly offers economical advertising packages to fit your budget. Feel free to call Our Weekly Los Angeles at 323-905-1300 or visit the website at www.ourweekly.com. Our Weekly Los Angeles, reporting news that matters to you.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid. And we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
You know, I was skimming through Instagram just now, and there is this cat. I don't know if you guys follow him. His name is S. Johnson Voiceovers. You ever check this cat out? He's the king, and he's got a voice of gold, and he does like spoofs on different products and stuff. And it's S_Johnson_voiceovers, and he is so funny, man. And he's always trying out all these products. He just brought up something called Cup of Noodles Breakfast. It's got maple syrup, pancakes, eggs, and noodles too. And it's have you seen them? Dude, I'm always trying to think of something that I could eat when I get home because I don't have an appetite when I get home. So I'm always looking for something light. I tell you what, that's like right up my alley. And he says they're at Walmart. I hate going in Walmart, though. But if those are in there at a decent price, I'll murder them at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's when I get hungry for some reason, you know? You get home after work, you had a bomb show, you expend all this energy when you're on the broadcast because, you know, I'm high energy up in here. And then you get home and you're not hungry. But a couple hours go by, you know what I'm saying? And I'm up doing production work, you know what I'm saying? And your stomach's like, it'd be nice going in there. Eggs and some pancakes, cup of new fire.
What about that bowl of cereal? That doesn't suffice at 2 a.m.?
I've been trying to wean myself off of that because, as you know, I'm lactose intolerant, man. And trust me, you could fuel the space shuttle with what comes out of me at 8 o'clock in the morning when I have a bowl of cereal.
Lactate, almond milk.
I'm not going to mess with no almond milk.
Try it, Danny, bro. You the health nut. I don't understand you. You don't do fruit, and you don't even want to try almond milk?
I do fruit juice. I don't do fruit. Oh.
You kill me with that. No apples, no oranges,
apple juice, orange juice all day. Is there a banana juice? Is there such a thing?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
I'm just saying. I'm good. I'm good. Let's go back to the phones, though. Mike, get up in here and save me. Mike, give me your height, your color, and your hood, Mike.
6'2", black, View Park.
View Park, checking in. Drop that. Come on. Yeah. Mike, I was waiting on you to call earlier because, as you know, this is our bag right here, man.
This is our bag, Danny, but you're doing such a great job. I didn't have to say anything. You saying it all. I didn't want to interrupt you. You were on a roll. You covered it.
I appreciate it, man. Can you believe how incredible that cat Leonard Redway was? You and him are kindred spirits, man.
Oh yeah, he's something. He's something spirit. He's something special there. I tell you, but like you said, they need to get this back in schools. I supported that strike they were on. They wanted a 30% raise. I agree with that, and I agree that teachers are underpaid, but we need the trades back in schools immediately. I mean, they never should have been taken out of schools.
That's right.
And then you wonder, well, why do we have all these tents out here?
Mm-hmm.
These people don't have a trade, they don't have a skill.
Mike, I don't know if you heard I don't know if you heard my opening monologue, but there is a conspiracy. I'm sure Andy agrees that is a conspiracy that they intentionally took the trades out of the school to try to drive us into college, knowing that a bulk of the African-American community would never seek out a college education to make sure that we ain't never got no dollars in our pocket. You buy that?
No, I don't agree with you there, Danny. They intentionally took it out of schools to drive us into the grave. That's what they did.
Whoa! Yeah, you went a little bit further than me.
As soon as they did that, they started building these prisons. They built a prison before they built a school. My goodness, let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade.
Go on ahead. Take the mic. Go ahead. Keep preaching. When they had the trades in schools, we had 6 periods. You only had 1 period of trade. You just didn't study trades all day long. Yeah.
You had 1 period of trade. And you had your academics, and even the people that went into college had a little trade experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Danny, even if a person buys a house out here and they don't know anything about a house, some contractors will break you trying to keep your house up.
That's exactly
right. When you come out of school, you know how to change a plug and know how to unstop a sink, the little things that you need to do to maintain a house. But these people coming out of school now, they don't even know how to change a tire on a car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I do find it very interesting that they take the trades out of school, and a lot of these young bucks, black and brown, gotta bring the Latinos into the conversation, that you take the blue-collar stuff out of the schools to where they have to focus on the curriculum. A lot of them can't do the curriculum, and so they get out of school or drop out of school. And now you're also not allowing, I asked Leonard about the hierarchy in a lot of these unions. Not all of them. There's a number of unions that don't have a lot of African-Americans in them. So you're going to take the trades out of the school to where these kids don't know how to do blue-collar jobs, and then they try to go get into the unions, and they won't allow them in the unions, and they wonder why a lot of these brothers get into trouble.
Well, exactly. Well, isn't that a good way of going into the grave when you don't know nothing, and then you go to, you're selling dope or trying to rob somebody or doing some dumb stuff out here? The first thing they say, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the rallying call. I got to do what I got to do. I don't know nothing else. So, if you know how to do some plumbing work, plumbing work, or you can paint, you can do some painting, you can do some carpentry work.
Yeah, but how in the hell are we going to expect a white supremacist system, the systemic racism that we face all the time in this country? They're not going to give black and brown people training to go and take these jobs from these cats. It's just not going to happen. That's why they took them out to schools in the first place.
Well, they call it organization. Danny. When the Latinos want to do something, they organize.
Facts.
So I tell you,
yeah,
they know how to organize. They even got the people organized down at the ones that's standing around Home Depot. I see them having meetings and organizing.
I'll pass
them guys. They want $150 a day. And don't even know that.
I passed some this morning. It's funny you say that. I go to my gym and I have to drive through the parking lot in order to get to the parking lot. And as I'm driving in, there are 10 Latinos out there, and it's early in the morning. They out there standing, waiting for somebody to just put them in the back of their pickup and take them to a job site. You don't see no brothers out there.
Yeah, well, once in a while you'll see a brother out there, but I mean, the Latinos, they be running the brothers away sometimes, and then. A lot of times, like you said, people don't want to deal with brothers because there are brothers out there, they don't know nothing, and they still want a job, but, they don't, they don't have a place they can go and learn the trade and stuff, and if they do know the trades, they can get a job, So it's, and then our churches need to get on the job, too.
I don't know if you remember, you and I had that conversation on this very broadcast. I think it was on my midday broadcast where I said, I cannot believe that some church out there, maybe it's happening somewhere in the country, it could be happening here in Los Angeles, they're in some country that are trying to get grant dollars to convert their church that probably isn't operative all throughout the week except on Sunday, get some grant money from the state of California and turning their church into a job facility of some sort and train a lot of these brothers in their neighborhood. It'll pay for itself. I don't understand why some church hasn't done that.
Well, that's a good question, but a lot of one problem we have, the churches are ran by a lot of women in a lot of cases. The women are taking over and running the church, and it's hard to get men to even come to church now.
Yeah.
And the church is the thing that's helped us to survive as long as we survived. I mean, if it wasn't for the churches, we would have went the way of the Indians.
Facts.
I mean,
Yeah.
Let's be for real. The churches are the same that saved us. We're going to have to get back in the church. Men are going to have to come on back in the church. We can look at the football games after church. You're only in there a couple hours.
Apparently, you ain't been to the black church because I've known a couple hours in the black church. There's 3 hours in the black church every single Sunday. I don't know what church you going to. You get there. Church started at 10:30. You be walking out the door at 2:00. You be like, what is going on?
Well, if you get to a good church and you get spiritually fed, then you'll be fed for the whole week.
That is too long. I'm like, this service is longer than the crucifixion, man. What is the deal? Come on, let's go. I'm trying to get to the Raiders, man.
Well, it depends on the pastors you have. You got to come on over to Ward ME. They'll take care of you.
I hear you.
I tell you.
Mike, I got to bounce. Give him love real quick. Give Mike love. Right. Mike, I appreciate you so much. We gonna do it, man. Look,
you're doing a great job, Danny. But I really wish you could go back to the earlier hours. Because it's kind of rough staying up this late to hear you, boy. Because you were really giving us a word. I mean, my goodness, and we need it so bad.
I appreciate that. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, Mike. You've been supporting me from jump, and it means everything to me. So.
Well, you just don't know. You're spiritually sent.
Wow.
Danny, I don't know how much. I don't know if you realize how much you're needed in the community right now. You need to be woke up.
Mike, that means everything to me, man. God bless you, man.
Same here.
Right,
God bless you too.
All right, have a good one.
Keep up the good work.
I will. I promise.
Bye now.
Man, I didn't expect to get misty tonight, man. Yeah, I think y'all know how I believe that I'm doing God's work every single day. And if I come in here every single night, I want to help in changing a life in some way, shape, or form, And if the content that I bring to this broadcast on a nightly basis moves you in some way, I've done my job. And hopefully I get to the pearly gates and God looks at me and goes, well done, young man. Well done. News and traffic right now. When we come forward upon further review clips on the other side. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In New York, a $10,000 reward is being offered after a rookie 22-year-old cop was shot this afternoon in Jamaica, Queens. NYPD Chief of Detectives James Essig says the shooting happened after police chased a man who ran off an MTA bus due to an argument on the bus. African-American Police Commissioner Keishant Sewell says the suspect is dangerous.
We are going to need your assistance in identifying and apprehending this offender.
Meantime, the city's mayor, African-American Eric Adams, says when you can display weapons over a dispute on a bus, that says a lot and why guns need to be removed off our streets. Well, data shows Eli Lilly's Alzheimer's drug reduces brain plaque in patients in early stages of the disease. A higher dose of the experimental treatment had a bigger effect on clearing plaque that disrupts cell function on the brain in Alzheimer's patients. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Access granted.
In a survey conducted by the public opinion research firm Eviderus, KBLA Talk 1580 consistently emerged as the station of choice for black audiences in the Los Angeles media market and beyond. The survey also revealed that the vast majority of black audiences are concerned about the lack of black-owned media and are more likely to listen to talk radio that focuses on issues that impact the black community. For some reason, the other talk stations haven't quite figured that out.
If you think about KFI, well, KFI only has like a 3% black listenership. 3%. So there's a good 97% out there to support a station like KBLA.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates U.S. Olympic gold medalist and Hall of Famer Jeanette Bolden Pickens, owner of the 27th Street Bakery, during this Women's History Month. 27th Street Bakery sends a huge thank you to the community for all its support during the pandemic, serving the Los Angeles community with their signature sweet potato pie since 1956 and third-generation baker. The goal has never changed. Keep the business thriving for generations to come. Made with the freshest ingredients in each yam peeled by hand. 27th Street Bakery puts the home back in homemade with its signature vanilla added to all its amazing products: pies, cakes, cobblers, tea cakes, and the newest item, creamy sweet potato cheesecake. Call 323-233-3469. That's 323-233-3469. Have your order shipped by visiting 27thstreetbakery.com or stop by 2700 South Central Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90001, Tuesdays through Saturdays, 8 to 4.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Gotta stay fresh, my house shot with a rest bar, shot with a rest bar, shot with a rest bar.
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yellow City, yeah. Benzino, yeah. Yellow Man, yeah. Young Health, yeah.
Wow, I ain't heard that track in a minute.
Benzino, yeah. Young Health, yeah. Come on, rock.
Checking in the closet for my blue velour suit. Piping all around it with the matching 10 boots. Hop up in the wagon with the 20-inch shoes on. Oh, riding down the street with a 20G stack. Shorty paging me saying, look up in the mirror, 5 up on my back. It's uh-oh. Roll up at the spot, smoking in the parking lot.
It's not my party.
Everybody having fun, niggas don't stop. Pray to God that I don't have to let the guns pop. It's maybe all the ladies wanna chill with Benz and F. Pushing up the bottle till there's no man left.
So long.
Step it up to Louis, now let's see what happens next.
This chorus goes though.
We gon' flow the party, rock the party, then drink Bacardi, freak somebody, then leave the party till the after party, y'all. We gon' do? We gon' flow the party, rock the party, then drink Bacardi, freak somebody, then leave the party till the after party, y'all.
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show, rocking the party for your nighttime. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. You know what? I'm sitting there getting a lot of love from Mike. You know, Mike calls, make a brother Misty, compliment me, the show, the whole nine, and then I look inside the YouTube feed. And I'm just sitting there getting butchered. You know what I'm saying? Let me read a few of these. Let me see. Urban Spencer said, Danny, that sounds disgusting, LO. Is she talking about when I... What? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Does that sound disgusting? That's how I eat. How do you eat cup of noodles? Do you grab it by the cup and then and get your fork? How do you eat them? How do you hold your cup? Do you hold it at the? Some people hold it at the base like this, and then.
No, I hold it on the side.
Okay, but it's hot sometimes, right?
I let it cool for a little bit.
Okay, so give me your process. I mean, do you dip the fork in it? Do you spin your fork?
No, I don't.
Okay, so
I scoop.
You're a scooper.
Yeah.
See, I'm a spinner. You spin them up on there like spaghetti, and then.
Now, my lady. Not that she's introduced me to it, but she's a big Asian food type person.
That's me.
So we do ramen a lot.
I can't get into it. I keep trying it. There's something about the taste of it that I can't rock with.
I love it. I love ramen. It has to be the chicken ramen for me.
Okay.
I have a weird relationship when it comes to pork, but I do the chicken ramen. There's a spot right around the corner from Pink's Hot Dogs.
Yeah.
I believe it's called Tatsu Ramen.
Okay.
So I get what they call their cheeky ramen.
Cheeky.
And it is fire. The broth, fire. But make a long story short, I'm starting to use chopsticks now.
Are you really?
I'm starting to use chopsticks. I've made it a point to learn how to use it. Even though I struggle from time to time, but anytime we go to that ramen spot, I don't use no forks, no nothing.
No.
So I say all that to say that if I do get some cup of noodles, I'm throwing away the fork. I'm grabbing them chopsticks.
So you just convert into an Asian person right now, right in front of my eyeballs now.
Cultural appropriation at its finest.
Wow. They got those cheater. You ever use the cheater chopsticks?
My girl, she gave me a gift of those, but I never used it.
Yeah, I use those. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? Especially they eat rice with chopsticks.
They do. I tried that. It's kind of difficult.
It's impossible.
It's difficult.
Now, chow mein, I can do that all day.
Absolutely.
Chicken, some seafood. I know y'all don't like them. You know, that's all day. But they will scoop rice with chop. I go, y'all.
Salute to them. They can do that.
Wow. It's crazy.
They work great with noodles because just like you said with the fork, you could twirl it kind of sort of, so
right.
It's easier to grab. But with rice, it's a challenge.
I'll be like, man, I always tell the waiter or the waitress, you go give me a fork right now. All right, I'm a halfway do it the traditional way. She said, a pretty brown Mimi said, Danny, please don't share bodily functions. It takes your sexy away. Hilarious. She said, hey, I agree, Danny. Sounds are just gross. Stop it. Urban Spencer said, 1,020 milligrams of sodium for $9.50 at Walmart. Each cup is $9. And I'm not doing that. I thought it was Walmart. What is their slogan? Why pay more? Is that them?
Inflation.
$9.50. I was talking about that breakfast noodle mess. Danny, last point, try lactate. It's wonderful.
What you got against it, Danny?
This may sound stupid. I don't like trying anything that seems, this is going to kind of contradict everything I'm saying about these noodles, artificial. And I'm sitting there talking about eating processed noodles on the microphone.
And what you got right there on your table right there talking about artificial? Exactly. Come
not,
on, Danny.
My water? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I said I try. I don't say I'm 100%. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't think lactate is artificial. I just think they remove the lactose away from
Is it
milk.
still milk?
It's still milk. Just like almond milk is milk.
Okay.
Rice milk is milk. Oat milk is milk.
Urban Spencer said trade work also requires apprenticeships for licensing. Real talk. Are the brothers going to put in the time? Lizette Arenas, what's up, beautiful? Hi, Danny and everyone. Pretty Brown said, it's 2:30 in the morning in Florida. I hear you. Man, that's state. Don't get me started on Florida right now. Ari Love, new to the thread. I don't think I've seen Ari Love in here. It says, hey, family. Good to see you.
Shout out Arabia.
Is that who that is?
That's Arabia.
What's up, Arabia? Appreciate you. Urban Spencer said, not the actual breakfast noodle concept. And Lizette said, I love your sound effects. Thank you. Thank you, haters. Lizette loves when I do that.
When you hear that, that's when you know the food is good.
Hey, real talk. Real talk. By the way, speaking of Urban Spencer, she just DM'd me a link. It says, Buy Back the Block LA. How to make $100,000 a year as an electrician. And it's a YouTube link. I'm going to watch it when I get off. And look, that's if you're a brother or a sister listening right now, there's options to make a bunch of money. And I know people are going to be in your ear saying, you need to go back and get your education. You need to go back to college. I'm telling you right now, you can right now, if you're willing to just put in a little bit of time, get that training as you should, you can make some bank. Leonard just told you during the Pulse One-on-One interview, you can get $50,000 a year right now. How long is that training going to be? When you go down there and they give you the it's probably 6 weeks.
Absolutely.
I bet you can get $50,000 a year out the gate.
I'll say this. I dabbled in the culinary industry or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And the program that I was in, which was a free program, an accelerated program, 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
6 weeks.
How much out the gate?
I think it was like 18. I was working at the airport.
That's good.
I was flipping burgers.
$18 an hour for flipping burgers?
Yeah. But the airport, whole beast. But I worked there for about 4 months, and then I upgraded to a 5-star hotel, the Beverly Wilshire.
Nice.
Completely different ball game.
You think?
I mean, you're doing you're cooking for your staff.
Yeah.
The
celebrities, a lot of
community. You're doing that. You're banquets. You're at the carving station. I mean, I remember I cooked for the Utah Jazz when they came in.
Nice. How much more money?
At that time, it was $21 an hour plus overtime.
It's not a big enough jump, though.
It's not a big enough jump, but being in that industry,
getting out of the airport and into the Wilshire, yes,
absolutely. And it was a unionized job. So if I stuck around, you know what I'm saying, you would have got a little bit more money or whatnot. But I say that to say that the program to even start cooking was only 6 weeks.
Right. So you saying you could make $18 an hour probably out the gate?
Out the gate.
If
you're interested in cooking.
What about prevailing wage? Do they have that here in L.A.?
I've never heard of that.
You haven't? Somebody check me. Prevailing wage to where they have to pay you. I think it is. There's a base wage they have to pay that is in line with everyone else. Or I can't describe it. I don't know. I should have asked Leonard about that. I don't know. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Pretty Brown Mimi said, use a fork. I do. When we come forward, we'll get some upon further review clips before we get up out the door. Danny Mo Show, KBLA. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
California Black Women's Collective Empowerment Institute President and CEO Kelly Todd Griffin says the state of Black women in California is troubling. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. The Mount St. Mary University Center for the Advancement of Women released their 12th annual report on the status of women and girls in California. The 40-page document reported that the wealth gap among women is vast. Findings show less money, more poverty, and less corporate leadership amongst Black women compared to white and Latina women. In California, Black women hold 4% of the bachelor's degrees obtained. Kelly Todd Griffin of the Black Women's Collective believes there's a connection between Black women's trailing in education and wealth figures. Good news is money is going towards programs targeting Black women. For more information on the report, visit msmu.edu. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
The Friendship Society presents Forever Love, Dinner and Dance. It's a Compton love story. If you went to any high school in Compton from 1960 to 1980, you will want to be here. Compton's Forever Love, Dinner and Dance at Chester Washington Golf Course, 1818 Charlie Sifford Drive, Los Angeles. Saturday, April 29th, 7 p.m. to midnight. Dressy attire required. With live entertainment and DJ Super Dude spinning all the oldies and the great classics of Motown. For tickets, call 1-800-500-7047. 1-800-500-7047. All the great ones will be there. Tickets $40 in advance, $55 at the door. Sponsored by Levias and Associates for all your legal needs. 1-800-500-7047. Don't miss Compton's Forever Love Dinner and Dance. Saturday, April 29th, 7 p.m. to midnight at Chester Washington Golf Course. For tickets, call now. 1-800-500-7047. 1-800-500-7047.
All I need is one mic.
For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley with a KBLA editorial. I've said it all along. Presumption of innocence, fundamental fairness, due process. Convicted now on 7 counts in his federal bribery case, LA City Councilman Mark Willie Thomas scarcely got one, and his chances of getting the other 2 were slim to none, and Slim was out of town. Did you hear the jury forewoman's comments? The jurors were confused by the jury instructions, confused by the answers to the almost 12 questions they sent to the judge. She acknowledged that some jurors were not even paying attention, and she said the jury knew that the $100,000 contribution from MRT was legal, but the way the jury instructions were written made them feel like they had to find MRT guilty of wire fraud. Again, those are her words. So let me offer you just 3 questions that I want you to ponder. 1, why do you think the U.S. government spent millions of dollars of your money going after an alleged $100,000 bribe? 2, USC is in the news almost daily, it seems, for yet another violation of some law or the contestation of somebody else's humanity. But unlike all the other cases, they didn't get caught by some LA Times investigation. No, USC walked this particular case involving a powerful Black leader into the U.S. Attorney's Office. Who made that decision, and how and why was it made? 3, while all the focus is on the indictment of Donald Trump, are you paying attention to all the other high-profile Black elected officials that are being targeted across the nation by the Justice Department? Joe Biden's Justice Department. I'll let you marinate on that for a second. The judge in one case involving a high-profile Black elected threw the charges out and told the government to kick rocks. It doesn't matter who's in charge. The hunting season for Black folk is always open. I do not purport to know what's next for MRT. What I do know is that his legacy of love and service to our community is intact. What I do know is that God can turn your shipwreck into a submarine. As for all the rest of us, be vigilant, be sober, be circumspect. Just because you don't believe in conspiracy theories don't mean they ain't after you. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley. We, of course, welcome your comments.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Leonard Redway just shared us on his page. LRS Plumbing, absolutely amazing. Amazing, man. When people say that there aren't any brothers or sisters out there doing anything to impact young people within this community, I'm telling you, there's so many. They're just unsung heroes that don't get the accolades that they deserve. There's a bunch of cats out there doing amazing work, and Leonard's just one of them. And for him to be brought to my attention, shout out to Ray Alexander, by the way, for putting those pieces together. Now, I think I got somebody that's just going to be a community partner forever. And Leonard, that's just one of them cats, man. And if you guys know somebody, a young king or queen that's looking for a job, y'all should be calling up Leonard tomorrow and getting them a job for real. Let me see. Let's get into some upon further review clips. By the way, Urban Spencer just sent me an actual link on those noodles. And it's Nissin breakfast flavor ramen cup noodles, 2.25 ounces. And that wasn't no joke. $9.50 per cup. I was like, there's got to be a 3-pack. No, per cup. You could go to freaking IHOP and get some pancakes. Real talk. I could go to IHOP right now, get some pancakes, eggs, and bacon, $7. Tell me that's not true.
Yeah, you can.
$9.50 for a cup of some noodles? They crazy.
But it has pancakes and all the other stuff in there, right?
Kev, it's got holy water in it. $9.50? That's crazy. Can we get into it? Don't get me started tonight, man. It's time to bring you a few more of the Upon Further review clips that you sent us over the past few days. Clips that extend the conversation on the topics we've touched on recently on the Danny Mo Show. The first clip is a holdover from last night's interview, talking sports with Ray Richardson. Charles Barkley was on 60 Minutes recently, gave some honest remarks about the state of college basketball. He called it a travesty and a disgrace because we can't pay all of these players. And here's that clip. Listen.
What do you make of the college game today?
It's a travesty and a disgrace. I'm so mad now how we can mess up something that's so beautiful.
How do we mess it up?
We can't pay all these players.
Translation, Barkley hates the new Wild West of college sports, where players go to the schools that can bid the highest.
In the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to have 25 schools that's going to dominate the sports. And these schools who can't afford or won't pay players are going to be irrelevant.
He's not wrong. He's not. There's certain schools that aren't highlighted in these video games, and it's like they're not going to be able to bring in the dollars that your big conferences can. That's why USC is jumping ship right now. What are they going to the Big 12? It's big dollars, man. It is. So let's be honest here. If I'm Terrence and I've got Division I talent, and this school over here is telling me, we're going to put you on the squad. By the way, they're going to feature you in the next NBA 2K, and you can get some dollars from it. Guess what school I'm going to? Sorry, my mama is struggling, and I'm the savior of my family. So if a school going to give me a check, and I can also get better exposure from being at that school, and the scouts are always there, and they have a direct link to the professional sports leagues, and I get a check, that conversation is over. I'm sorry. And yeah, the smaller colleges are going to suffer. And you know what? To that I say, sorry. Pay them kings, man. Sorry. These schools have been making billions with a B, billions of dollars off of the backs of these kings for years. It's got to be really twisted. Like, you're a young African-American basketball player. Let's say you play for USC, right? And you go to your dorm, and you sitting there eating cup of noodles, probably this pancake cup of noodles that I'm talking about right now. You know, you ain't got no money. You like, oh, my God, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner tomorrow because can't nobody give me no money because it's illegal for anybody to hand me some money unless they're family. So I'm sitting there struggling, but I do have a PS5. So I turn on my PS5, and I'm sitting there playing a video game with me in it while I'm sitting there eating a cup of noodles, and I ain't got no money. And I ain't got no food in my refrigerator. But I'm sitting there playing myself on my PS5. That's twisted. Come on, y'all. Pay these kings. Enough. Some of these schools going to suffer. And he's right. The money's going to rise all the way to the top. There's going to be 20, 25 schools that compete every single year. But, sorry. I'd rather see these kings get paid. Let's, you want to take J-Dub before we get up out of here? J-Dub, I got 2 minutes. Give me your height, your color, and your hood.
Hey, I'm 5'11". I'm Carmel Brown, and I'm from South Central.
South Central LA, checking in. Drop that. Come on. Yeah. 2 minutes, J-Dub. Come on.
Yeah, I'll make it real quick. First of all, when I went to high school, they have what you call the career guidance classes, and as I remember, most of the career guidance teachers, they would more or less guide the males towards shop classes back then and guide the women towards college, prevent them from like grad school or to go to college, period. And that's how it was set up. And just to change the subject, I was in the sheet metal trade, local union 75, and I was fortunate to get that job back in, I'd say around 79 from the Los Angeles Urban League.
The Urban League. Nice.
Yes, they had a particular program set up just for that situation. I had to wait to get hired, and what they did, they hired me. They got me a job at the liquor bank, which you're probably not familiar with that, but all the locals are on Stocker and Crenshaw. There used to be a literal bank, and this Jewish guy named Maury took it over and made a liquor store across the street from the mall. But the point is, I worked there. I was the first black to work there, and then once the position came available for me to be an apprentice in a sheet metal trade, local union 75, I went out there and I was what you would call a token black. Clinton Robinson, he was the first black sheet metal foreman, and he stayed nearby me. But the point is, they had the opportunities back in them days, and that's before they start taking shop classes out of the public school system. But then I went to Chicago, and I became a scab. That's a long story. But make a long story short, I started driving 18-wheelers, and I made a career out of that, and I'm retired.
Did JW just say to make a long story short? I don't know. I think we passed that moment. J-Dub, I gotta go. I gave you 2 minutes.
I covered different topics, and I'm below 2 minutes, too.
Yes, you did. Give him call of the night just because J-Dub's amazing. I gotta go, King. I appreciate you. To make a long story longer, long story short, we passed up short 30 seconds ago. J-Dub, love you, man. We out the door. Bomb Thursday night broadcast tomorrow. Y'all gonna really love it. It'll be fun. Good luck. God bless. Gone. Keep it on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Be good.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump is pleading not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records